Boy, oh boy, if you thought we had a ton of new equipment on the last week test server, which we did, we have another whole new group of equipment for this weekend's test server. It's like a combination of my dream thing to come to the game and my nightmare thing to come to the game put into one. So it's good and it's bad, but let's go through it. So let's start with just a review of the last week test server. So obviously the big things were the Crisis robot, the Rook. So the Crisis robot is a new sniper robot with a near permanent stealth, but you probably already know that. We wanted to make Crisis a perfect glass cannon, which requires precise management of the ability cycle. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea, because it's not a glass cannon if it has permanent stealth. That doesn't make it a glass cannon. That makes it an invisible cannon you can't even see or aim at. And then Rook. I might use the Rook again more this weekend because I'm sure it's going to also be on this weekend's test server. But Rook is a shell on steroids, shielded from all sides, capable of closing the distance fast thanks to its ability, ideal for brawls. That was our vision at least. Last week it played more like an assassin robot thanks to its impressive ability range. We noticed your feedback and reduced Rook's dash distance. At the same time, we fixed the ability physics so that it doesn't bounce off the map geometry so much. Honestly, the Rook, it looked cool last weekend, but it just seems so dumb. It's like a giant shell bot that folds up into like an origami and then launches itself across the map. It didn't even, I don't know, the mechanics just seemed weird. And then what else? We also had the Reaper, but they also said the roulette. So look, an important correction to our previous post. Neither roulette nor its dedicated support turret will appear in 9.0. We postponed them until 9.1. So on the live server, the roulette mothership and its support turret are not going to be coming to the game, at least until next update, which I guess is good instead of them just releasing it and it being all bugged out, which, you know, happens a lot. And then Reaper, we also used. Reaper is a 6-shot kinetic cannon that ignores every type of hull defense points, reflector, force field, etc. So we used all this stuff on the last weekend's test server. Now this is the new stuff let's get into. So let's start with new Titan weapons, and here they are. So we don't have pictures of them, but we have the, you know, what they say. So Oxy and Orkan. So it's a beta and an alpha version, are cryogenic missile launchers for 300-meter range. They apply freeze and feature splash damage. So these are giant freeze rockets, pretty much like the cryo weapons, like the Glacier, like the Rhyme, but for Titans. I mean, this isn't that surprising. I feel like this was going to come to the game eventually. But 300-meter range isn't too far. That's pretty close range, honestly. And then on top of that, there is an active module coming to the game, a new one. This time we're also testing a very special active module called Unstable Conduit. It's a beefed up, it's a beefed up version of Advanced Repair Unit. That's exactly what we need, more healing. That boosts outgoing damage in addition to providing repairs. It will consume more power cells than other modules, and more importantly, it will be unstable. The effects of the module will change from update to update. That sounds like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So you're going to get an unstable conduit. It's going to be better than an advanced repair unit. It's also going to give you damage boosts, more power cells, and then sometimes it's going to work from update to update. It'll be nerf buffed. That sounds like a very bad idea. I thought they were going to say unstable as in sometimes you use it and you like blow yourself up. That would have been cooler. Okay, now this is the big thing for the update in my opinion. Not the update, the test server in my opinion. And we'll be able to try this out tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. So, Ultimate Edition robots. I'm telling you, this is my dream and nightmare combined into one. Anybody remember Death Button Spectres? We thought it might be a good idea to bring them back to Champion League. If you just had a Shock Train flashback, don't worry. It will be Orkans, but they will be just as dangerous. So this is the picture they attached, and I gotta admit, it looks pretty badass. So this is a Spectre Orkan. Obviously, this skin does not exist in the game, and Orkans do not look like this in the game. So they're bringing Ultimate Edition robots and weapons to the game. So with Ultimate Editions, you will be able to revive the glory of old day builds. They will play just as their predecessors, but their stats will be adjusted to dominate the Champion League. Ultimates, being the most exclusive content in the game, will have different upgrade progression and feature unique looks with great levels of detail. They will upgrade instantly so that you can deploy them right after they become available in-game. We're starting with Spectre, but we already have a couple other robots in mind that will look splendid in gold and black. Be sure to test this one out and tell us what you think. So to sum that up, they're bringing back old school builds, it sounds like, starting with the Spectre Orkan. I love how the Spectre Orkan's an old school build. Now I'm thinking of like the Griffin, which is like twice as old. So the Spectre Orkan's gonna come to the game, but it's not the same as your Spectre Orkan and my Spectre Orkan on the live server right now. It's a completely different robot, and I assume they're like matched together maybe where you can't switch out the weapons. No idea. And there's no upgrading this, but they're very difficult to get. So this thing, if it's suited to today's Champion League, it better have like 10 seconds of stealth, triple the HP, and some kind of resistance. It sounds like an awesome idea. Like, it actually does. This is my dream. Why do they have to make it an Ultimate Edition though? Why can't they just buff regular Spectre Orkans and bring back old school robots? The idea probably is that there's so many old robot builds in the game, like the Griffin Orkan, the Plasma Rhino, the Fujin, all these old school robots and weapons that were such an awesome part of the game, and now they're kind of just in the past. Nobody uses them and they're just useless, left in people's inventory. And instead of just buffing all those things to come back, they want to make it so that, oh, it's a new thing that you have to unlock and get. So in theory, it sounds awesome. In reality, I don't know if it'll work that great because it's going to be super, super difficult to get, it sounds like. It said the most exclusive content in the game. One out of every, 500 players, 100 players is going to get it. Okay, and then this is also on the test server, New Yamantau. So finally, this weekend, we'll be testing the updated Yamantau map. It keeps getting better and better. If you want to take a look and your device supports higher graphics, please switch to HD and 60 FPS for this test. Okay, so hear that? Turn your Nokia up to max performance. We have a lot of performance tests ahead of us, and getting more data from the HD preset helps a lot. So we have some pictures of Yamantau. You can see a lot of the textures have been applied to the map. Like, look at that. That looks pretty cool. It's like a frozen Arctic ground. And yeah, that's it. So we got these pictures. Yeah, I'm actually, honestly, throw Castle Map into the dumpster and put Yamantau back in the cycle. The only thing I worry is that it's so wide open still that it might be homing bullets, lasers are going to probably dominate the map. But I'm fine with the change up because it does bring back a lot of nostalgia. So that is the new stuff. So all that stuff I just said is coming to this weekend's test server, so I'll definitely stay tuned for that stuff tomorrow and Sunday. But the most exciting thing to me is this Ultimate Edition stuff, and I'm sure it'll be awesome. You'll be like, oh my god, Spectre Orkan's back. But then it's going to just be impossible for regular players to get and use, which is the biggest issue. And then these freeze rockets should be pretty cool as well for the Titans. This unstable conduit sounds stupid, frankly, but and then New Yamantau as well. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments which thing sounds coolest, which thing sounds dumbest, and let me know. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We're trying this stuff out. Peace. Ice cream McNuggets.